You're listening to Real News with David Knight. Waging information warfare against pushers of fake news. You're listening to Real News with David Knight.
So the UK Labour Party has just put a transgender model in charge of their equality program. A model who has said all white people are racist. All white people are racist. So it's not okay to be white, but it's great to be transgender. This is the agenda that is being pushed on us globally. It doesn't matter which country you're in. It is a global agenda that is being pushed. But it is also an agenda of racism. And I've got a congressional bill that proves the racism of the Democrat Party. But before we do, let's hear a quote from Representative Guterres, a Democrat, talking about how racist we are. Okay, here's Representative Guterres.
The president set us on this course. He pulled the legal rug from underneath the Dreamers and then cloaked his position on immigration in an ethnocentric, pro-European, pro-white agenda that will hurt America. But the racists, and we must call them out for what they are, the racists who are driving immigration policy in the White House are defining the agenda for every House Republican and are shaping the brand of the Republican Party, not just as the party opposed to illegal immigration, but now as the party opposed to legal immigration. Not just as the party who doesn't want poor or Latin American immigrants, but doesn't want brown or black or anyone who isn't white in this country. If that is how my colleagues on the other side of the aisle define themselves and want to be remembered, then they should do nothing. But I have a greater faith in this institution and in its ability of this Congress to rise above racism and to do something the American people want us to do without regard to race, religion, or national origin. I'm a Democrat who will work with Republicans if Republicans are serious about reaching a solution. But it must start with my colleagues on the other side of the aisle saying, yes, we want to solve the problem and we want to rise above the racism emanating from the White House today.
Oh, okay. So those MS-13 kids who came in and killed other kids who are here illegally, they're not racist, all right? And we are racist if we want to have control of our borders. We have an ethnocentric, pro-European, pro-white agenda, he says. See, we got tired of hearing Democrat adults, and I put the word adult in quotes, Guterres, people like of that ilk, calling us racist. And so then they brought in kids and said, oh, you're horrible if you don't do it for these kids. But let's really pull the curtain back and see what these people are really about. Now, that was Democrat Representative Guterres. We also have a bill here, H.R. 4915, I have in front of me, 115th Congress, just introduced February the 2nd, 2017. Somebody sent me this thing, and I had to look it up because I couldn't believe it was real. Couldn't believe this was real, but it is real. And let me tell you what it is. Now, this is, first of all, this is being offered by Democrats, Thompson of Mississippi, Kelly of Illinois, Correa, and Gonzalez from Texas. They have introduced this following bill. And let me read you a bill to authorize dedicated domestic terrorism offices within the Department of Homeland Security, Department of Justice, the FBI, to analyze and monitor domestic terrorist activity and require the federal government to take steps to prevent domestic terrorism. Oh, that sounds good. We don't want to have domestic terrorism, right? We don't want. That's good. Let's tell the FBI and the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security, do your job. Stop trying to overthrow the election. Stop trying to blackmail people. Stop obstructing justice when it comes to sexual harassment in the FBI and so forth. Do your job. Do your job. Do background checks. Actually put the data in the background check database. And then when people call you up and say, I got a guy, put his name on here, said, I am so-and-so, and I want to be a professional school shooter. Well, do something about it. You know, you get 45 calls, do something about it. Sheriff in Benghazi. Okay, but instead, they want to do something about domestic terrorism. So they're saying, do your job, Department of Justice, FBI, Homeland Security. And here's what they say. Congress finds the following. Number one, white supremacists and other right-wing extremists are the most significant domestic terrorism threat facing the United States. And then they go on for another 14 pages cataloging every single time there was a white individual who was involved in a crime, because that's all they're interested in looking at. Let me tell you something. It isn't ethnocentrism. It isn't a pro-white agenda. The Democrat Party has become a full-blown racist party of hate. They are the racist. When you do nothing but talk about race, you're racist. If all you can see is somebody's race, if the first thing out of your mouth to any political argument or any policy discussion is, you're racist because I don't agree with you, you're a racist. You may be a racist. Remember, was it Jeff, the guy that did the redneck jokes? You may be a redneck if you, well, you may be a racist, Democrats, if you think that all terrorism is created by white people. If you hate white people this much, they are very dangerous people. Very dangerous people. When all you do is talk about race and identity politics, and when you actively try to institutionalize racist persecution and profiling like these Democrats are trying to do with House Bill 4918, you are racist. You are racist. I am sick and tired of this. I'm not even trying to discuss these people anymore. And the Democrats say that they are surging in the generic ballots as the economy fades from the spotlight, reports The Hill. Well, maybe that's true, maybe that isn't. This is mainstream media after all. The Hill has some good reporters, but they also have a lot of really hardcore leftist news there. Do you really think that the Democrats are going to win in the general election because nobody's going to care about the economy? It's the economy, stupid. That was how Bill Clinton won. That was how Hillary Clinton lost, because Hillary Clinton wallowed in the self-pity of identity politics and racism, the demagogue party. And it is going to be about the economy. And it is going to be about whether or not you want to go into poverty and racism and identity politics and division with the Democrats, or whether or not you want to have something in your life, regardless of what color you are. Do you want to have higher wages? Do you want to have jobs, regardless of what color you are? Do you want to be able to defend yourself and have a right to self-defense, regardless of what color you are? Then don't vote for Democrats. Don't vote for Democrats. They say Democrats have reopened a double-digit lead in the generic congressional ballot, which is absolutely meaningless. It's going to be in the gerrymandering. That's how they're going to win Congress, if they win Congress, because people really do care about the economy. We really do care about those crumbs, Nancy Pelosi, and I'll add The Hill. We really do care about those little crumbs in our life. I know that they're crumbs for you. You live so high above us, but it really does make a difference in our life. And if you want to know how far the Democrat Party has shifted left, it was big news this weekend. I didn't talk about it the last couple of days. But the fact that Democrats in California got together and they could not support Dianne Feinstein. She's too conservative for the Democrats in California. This is how off-the-chart left-wing communists they've become. The lady who proudly put through an assault weapon ban is too far to the right in California to get the endorsement of the Democrat Party. They are absolutely off of the charts. Off of the charts. Let's pull up, as a matter of fact, let's start talking about what these kids are doing and how they are using them to shut down any opposition. Again, same way that they use the Dreamers, they are now using these kids in the Parkland shooting, high school shooting. And it's having an effect. You've had several different organizations come out and think that they are going to somehow curry favor with these people who can never be satisfied by thumbing their nose at gun owners and the NRA. We've had a lot of corporations do it. We've had a lot of car rental companies do it. We've had Delta and United Airlines do it. Well, you're going to find that many of us don't just show up at the polls. You know, NRA, pretty active people show up at the polls. You look at homeschoolers, you look at gun owners, they vote. They're very politically active. And you know what? They also vote with their pocketbook. And so they have something to say about this. When we come back, we're going to cover what Dick's Sporting Goods has done. They have caved to the high school student, trying to curry favor with these teens who are conducting a witch hunt. Yeah, that's a metaphor. But it started with the Salem witch hunt conducted by some teenage girls who just started pointing fingers at everybody and saying, "You're a witch. You're a witch." We'll be right back.
Let's talk to Victor in Florida. Victor, you're calling. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, Alex. First, I just want to mention, if people just go and try the products, they will be ordering all the time. I've ordered several of the products over and over because it's amazing. In particular, Silver Bullet, as soon as I start to feel like I get a little sick, maybe like a little raspiness in my throat, I drop some Silver Bullet and I'll still feel a little sick, but it won't last as long. And I just ordered the body, the Alpha Power, and the Pollen Block.
Well, let me just say something, Victor. It's people like you that then fund the whole operation, because a very small percentage of people buy products and a very small percentage of them buy a lot of the products. So thank you. But when you mention the Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver, it's got thousands of reviews, a 98% review. It is our highest reviewed product because it is from the top lab in the country, discounted, high quality colloidal silver. And it's not a silver bullet, but it's the closest thing you're going to find to a silver bullet. Now, joining us is a best-selling author and researcher, Michael Malice. MichaelMalice.com. He grew up behind the Iron Curtain, so he understands the tyranny of collectivism. He's at Twitter at Michael Malice. He's written Dear Reader, Kim Jong-il, and he's been over there and researched it. So again, Michael Malice, author of The Dear Reader about North Korea. Give us your expert take on where we are right now and the chances for war over there.
I talk about this heavily in my book. If you look at these countries, Libya is a great example, Iraq, and several others. When the countries liberalized, Romania was the example Kim Jong-il himself used. When these countries liberalized, very often the people at the top are shot, and with good reason. You look at Gaddafi, he was sodomized to death. Saddam Hussein was hung, and Libya had a nascent nuclear program. They agreed to give it up, and what happened is right now you have slavery there. So North Korea very quickly realizes the best defense is a good offense. Kim Jong-il said he wants to turn the country into a hedgehog, meaning one with nuclear missile spines pointing in every direction. And if you think about it, how much easier, I don't think they would have been running their mouths to this point if they didn't have nukes or at least some very, very strong weaponry. Something would have happened to him. So they are very conniving in their hold on power. They're very interested in self-preservation, and unfortunately it's at the expense of the 25 million North Korean population who are the victims in this horrible decades-long atrocity.
Don't they know the calculus has changed and that the whole strategy of patience and then the globalists using North Korea as a strategy of tension, that is coming to an end?
It is coming to an end, and they're scared, and they're clearly scared, and you see that they're reaching out to South Korea, their arch rival, in some kind of China very publicly last year, and in the recent months has been turning their backs on them. Russia, to some extent, has been turning their backs on them. Putin liked the idea that North Korea could kind of be a thorn in our side, but even he's not going to be defending, concentration camps and starving children for political purposes. He's a far cry from Stalin. So North Korea has been an international embarrassment, especially for China, although they do serve a purpose, but China wants to have this dignified appearance. The Olympics, is there any bigger symbol of global